Some time ago, during the fighting state's time frame, there was a man by the name of Li who lived in the Qi realm. He was poor and had no practical possibilities, so he went to the castle of the well-off Duke Master Meng. One of his companions worked there, so he was wanting to involve that association with track-down work for himself. His companion referenced him to the Duke, and the Duke asked, "What is he great at?" Li's companion answered authentically, "He isn't especially great at anything." The Duke actually needed to track down motivation to recruit him. "Does he have any abilities?" Once more, his companion was real. No specific abilities, all things considered. The Duke found the severe trustworthiness reviving, he snickered. "Great. Give him a spot to rest and something to eat." Accordingly, Li became one of the Duke's visitors, a few thousand men who served the Duke without obviously characterized obligations. His friends, seeing that the Duke didn't respect him, would in general peer down on him. Nonetheless, the Duke treated him well. He got fair food, approval to utilize one of the Duke's chariots, and a little recompense every month to help his older mother. At some point, the Duke posted a sign so anyone might be able to see, requesting a worker. There was a distant locale in the Duke's domain called Zhu. Individuals of Zhu were in the red to the Duke from quite a while back. The Duke needed somebody who could monitor numbers precisely to go there and gather the obligations. Li ventured forward and chipped in. The Duke, in his standard respectful way, told Li, "I have been so occupied with the debilitating and confounding undertakings of the Express that I had the opportunity to chip away at this. Would you see any problems with venturing out to the Zhu locale as my delegate? Also, gather the credit installments for my benefit." Li officially acknowledged the assignment and started to get ready for the excursion. He expected to accept the credit records as well as a couple of watchmen with him. At the point when he was finished with his arrangements, he detailed back to the Duke. "Your Elegance," he bowed. "After I gather the cash for your benefit, what might you like me to buy and bring back for you?" The Duke couldn't imagine anything, so he said, "Investigate the castle. Anything you see I really want, however, don't have. That is the thing you ought to get for me." After a long outing, Li showed up at the Zhu locale. He had the watchmen gather together the residents to go over the credit records individually. The residents were very poor, however, they all realized the installments were extremely past due, so they had no way out. Li could see it was challenging for them. He checked out at them and saw restless and stressed articulations. The majority of them had very little, and didn't some have anything by any stretch of the imagination. Li gathered what he could and checked against the record. Then he stood up and reported, "By request of the Duke, I'm approved to get the advance installments once again to you." As of now. The locals were shocked as Li gave them back the cash that was paid 1 minute prior. Li made sense of, "Your effortlessness, you are the ruler of the little Zhu district." Rather than regarding individuals there as a dad would his kids, he needed to extricate cash from them. "I perceived how they battled with outrageous neediness, so I dishonestly asserted that I acted compelled to return the cash to them and furthermore, consume the credit reports. Accordingly, they cheered and recited your name. That is the way I bought ye for you." The Duke was troubled to hear this. In spite of the fact that he was exceptionally affluent and didn't actually require the cash, he was hoping to get something. However, presently, he didn't have anything. Significantly irritated, he waved Li away. "Fine, let us talk nothing else of this." After a year, the Duke experienced incredible disaster. The battle for control that was generally present in the illustrious court of Ji went gravely against him. and Lord Ji demonstrated he would pull out his help for the Duke. This implied the Duke's foes were currently allowed to go after him unopposed. Unexpectedly, his whole family was presently at serious risk. Yet again, realizing what is going on was grave, Li ventured forward to chip in. Having no clue about how to save his family, the Duke was very much delighted to allow him to assume responsibility for the circumstance. Li coordinated a little gathering of confided-in watches and made the proper plans. In mystery, he accompanied the Duke and his family out of the royal residence, and they went toward the distant Zhu locale together. He sent a scout ahead to tell the locals they were coming. An astounding sight welcomed the Duke when they were as yet numerous miles from Zhu. The locals all emerged to invite him. Men, ladies, the old, the youthful, there was many them. They lined the way to Zhu, and they generally cheered the Duke's appearance. As he traveled through the inviting groups, the Duke abruptly understood this was place of refuge. The residents had previously set up a safe spot where he and his family could remain. He realized they would safeguard him by not uncovering his whereabouts to anybody, particularly the covert operatives of his adversaries. At last, following quite a while of confronting his thought process was sure destruction, he could now inhale a moan of alleviation. He went to Li and said, "Sir, this yi that you bought for me, today I see it with my own eyes. You find throughout everyday life, in your life, the Chinese idea of yi is deciphered as honesty. Notwithstanding, yi implies more than that. It isn't just about being honorable, it is additionally about making the best choice in the correct manner and for the right reasons. The prudence of yi requires no unique information, ability, or expertise. All things considered, you can gather some great karma, for in one day, when you will require it frantically, you will receive it back consequently."
Thanks for watching In a House. Stay well, keep well.